people of the World Wide Webs, Cypher Sigma here, and it is quite a warm week. When I'm recording this, it is Wednesday, so it is a look what I have been watching. So it seems very small from the outset. So anybody is new to the channel, new to my content, this is a weekly series that I do where I just go over everything physical media that I've watched. Yes, physical media. I don't do any online stuff. I don't do movies. They are done at the weekend. This is just all physical media. So most of this stuff is if something I've watched with my wife, TV series or movies, or mainly a movie that I watch most nights. That's how I try and get through. I try and get through mostly one movie a night. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it depends what I'm doing. But yeah, so we have 3 for the collection. I'll go in reverse order like I normally do. So the first off is Pirates of the Caribbean. So yes, this is a upgraded version. So I got rid of all the old DVDs, all there in my to sell pile when I finally get around to somebody wanting to buy them at a car boot. And I upgraded to the Blu-ray for size. So kind of going off, so first we have The Curse of the Black Pearl, a great movie. It was, through all the stuff that we have nowadays of the poor reboots and stuff like this and everything being flogged out, it was really nice to revisit the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's so fresh, you know, how they took this kind of idea of a pirate, and Captain Jack Sparrow had such an ensemble cast with Orlando Bloom, Keira Knightley, Jack Davenport, to name a few. I can't remember the guy who plays Barbossa now, but yeah, just and it worked so well. The fact they kept off the whole the undead until part of the way through the movie, and then how they use that, even the CG, and obviously a lot of it's on water and stuff, and it looks actually really well and still holds up today. And I mean, yeah, the film's like, I think the first one was 15 years old, something like that. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, it was a very fresh take. I very like the whole Jack where he comes into port and obviously his ship sinks. And it was silly stuff like this of how, you know, he's proclaimed he's that good and he trips over the wall near the end, and there was stuff like this in the cast, and it all just works really well together. Obviously then this went on to Dead Man's Chest, which was kind of a 2-parter because it leaves it very open. This is kind of the how to bring them back, but kind of focus it more around Will Turner and obviously Elizabeth Swann. I felt that they all had chemistry together. The kind of perspective of, you think Elizabeth Swann by the end of it is into Jack Sparrow, and that as Will has mixed feelings, and it kind of creates a triangle of love for them, but there's no real love affection between Swann and Jack. It's kind of, it's only what you interpret from that angle. Barbossa obviously then being in the background to kind of return at the very end of it, / the beginning of World's End. I thought was very good. Obviously the Kraken Davy Jones in the second one was a great addition, and it worked very well. Obviously bringing Bootstrap back and having a bit more relation to that, I thought also worked very well. And then obviously it led on to a World's End, which kind of have these pirate lords. It was a little bit flamboyant stuff, you know, there's all these different types of pirates and all these different clans, and apart from kind of the Chinese type set with Chow Yun-fat, I think it is, who plays the Lord, who then gets taken by Elizabeth Swann, or the position then gets taken by Elizabeth Swann. They don't do much other than that. The big fight is Barbossa and his crew versus obviously Davy Jones, and then obviously the East India trade. So it's very much, it sets it up that it's going to be a big pirate battle, and it's only like a few boats and that, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it was, if it was been a massive boat battle, the cost of that and to try and execute it well enough would have been very hard, but I still thought it was good, and kind of it could have led on to that. And then that leads us on to On Stranger Tides. Obviously we have no Keira Knightley, no Orlando Bloom. They're off doing their own thing, and I understand their story is kind of told up, even though they do return for number 5, Salazar's Revenge, I think it is. I've not watched that, it's not in this pack, or not watched it recently. I thought it was all right, as a lot of people said, watching the reviews and going and checking other stuff online. It seems that a lot more people over time really like this one. They distance themselves from the original trilogy and watch it kind of as an independent thing. Obviously they like it. It's just more Jack Sparrow. For me, I think some of the pirate how it was set on the little island. Something when I take it to England, it took some of the charm away from it. Kind of him fighting Penelope Cruz in the beginning with them two is kind of reminiscent of him and Will fighting in the barn in the very beginning. And there was a few little bits like this that I think struggled to work a little bit. I can understand of it because they want to kind of move the scene away and to explain why Elizabeth Swann and Will Turner weren't there. Obviously, it worked all right. Obviously, it came to a conclusion. So it wasn't the best of the lot. I probably do think one is by far the greatest, and it's nice to have this film and this franchise out there because you don't have many pirate movies that do so well. So that is the Pirates of the Caribbean quadrilogy, if you class it as that, even though it's more. So it's been big movie time. So the next one obviously is Titanic. So yes, so along speaking with the guys a few months ago, and we've been reminiscing and people have been mentioning about Titanic, and I've only seen this I think in 1998 when it came out. So my friend rented it on VHS. We stayed up one night and watched it all, and that's the only time I've seen this movie until now. So it is just over 3 hours, 3 hours and 9 minutes. And I watched it and I really, really enjoyed it. Cameron is very good at what he does. The set pieces, the water, the acting and stuff like that all works really well. Obviously, there's the whole controversy of could Jack get on the board or something like that. At the end of the day, yes, he probably could. They probably could have found a way, but again, hypothermia and something would it? I mean, I would have think if he could have got on the board or they got another bit of wood and kind of crouched together, their body heat could have helped both of them survive. But then would it have been a great story if they were both have lived? Would have been nice maybe if Kate Winslet's character maybe had fathered a child from Jack, and there's and the granddaughter that's in there is actually his descendant. I thought would have been quite a nice touch. But it is what it is. It's done really well. CG, the boat and everything. I really liked it. It was really nice. And, it doesn't feel like 3 hours to me. And it is a very much kind of... I don't know, with some of these movies I do get annoyed when, the posh people don't want to help the poor people. Now, but maybe that's just who I am. And I'm a poor person. Not a poor person, but I'm in that lower ranks. And then the final one we have, so we are, hopefully would have done it by now, but this is RoboCop, the Crime Wave. So this is the two discs out of 3 would have made up the animated series from, I think, the late 80s it is. So it is very slightly different from the RoboCop. It does take the same kind of follow up from the film. Murphy is killed. He is turned into a robot. He has Lewis with him, and that's where it goes. But you kind of have villain of the day. You have the Scrambler. You have Dr. McNamara, which is where kind of the original toy line come from. That was done by Kenner. This is the first. It says 8 episodes, but it's actually 1 to 7 and then 9. And for some reason, I missed out 8. I went on 9 and then watched. You can watch it all on eBay. So I then watched on YouTube. So I then watched the other 4 episodes that's missing. So I've seen all of the series that they did of this. I won't say too much more because me and AJ have a discussing a brand talk on RoboCop. But that is everything I've been watching for, I believe, week 70. Have you seen any of these? What are your views and thoughts? Let me know in the description down below. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button. I could always do a few more subscribers. I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.